All right, so today's video is going to be a follow-up video to the video that I made yesterday about Ethan Klein. If you haven't seen that video already, I definitely recommend you go and watch that video before you watch this video. That being said, Ethan has somehow made everything so much worse in the time between you seeing this video and the video that I made just yesterday. Yes, I know that that's really amazing, not super hard to believe at this point, but Ethan somehow managed to make everything worse and say some even more fucked up, heinous shit. So, where does this all start? Yesterday, during the H3 After Dark podcast, they had a segment, or Ethan did this on a whim, where he was responding to chatters that were seemingly upset at him for mocking Aaron Bushnell's death, which was what my video was about yesterday. He was making fun of it. He was joking about it. He was just claiming that Aaron Bushnell was mentally ill. It was just all just horrible, horrible, nasty, awful, incorrect, shitty comments. But Ethan decided to respond to chat, and he went off the rails really fucking fast in a really, really hard to watch way. I mean, not hard to watch because I'm a fan of Ethan. That's not how I mean it. Just like, it's just fucking horrible shit from a seemingly horrible human being. Ethan, in the clips that we're about to watch, claims that everyone is saying that every Jew is a Zionist, and he even calls out Frogan, which is another very popular creator. If you're not familiar with Frogan, I definitely recommend you familiarize yourself with Frogan. Frogan is amazing. She is absolutely incredible. I fucking love Frogan. Frogan is one of the few creators I think you cannot criticize Frogan. You cannot criticize her for anything. She is the gold standard for creators and people that engage in activism for certain issues. Frogan has been very vocal on Israel-Palestine for a long time. She is very well spoken on it. She knows her shit. So a lot of really horrible shit in these clips, but we're going to start here. And again, even the segment here in the H3 upload is Ethan responds to chat. And it's like I said, it goes off the rails really fast. Here it is.
Didn't she have some recent drama too?
Hold on. Why are people mad at me? I want someone, please, to explain it. Explain why you're mad at me. Go ahead. I'm dying. Please.
Are people mad?
They're mad about my comments about Aaron Bushnell on the See You Next Tuesday. My point was this. I think you should be careful about how you romanticize suicide because it's going to encourage more people to do it. That was my take.
And it's a shitty take. I mean, like, you know, I mean, I guess that was part of what he said. Yeah, that's partially true, I guess. But it was a shitty take. It was a shitty take.
That apparently enraged people. Unless I'm misunderstanding, tell me why. I'd love to know why. Because I feel like when people are angry at me, they're looking regarding this kind of stuff.
You want to know what's funny? Actually, I didn't even plan this in the video, but you want to know what's funny about this? Is that Ethan has such a problem with Aaron Bushnell's self-immolation, but I didn't hear Ethan talk about this. I don't have this pulled up, so give me just 1 minute here. There was actually an individual that self-immolated in Atlanta, I believe, in front of an Israeli embassy, I believe. Almost nobody talked about this, okay? Protester critically injured after setting self on fire outside Israeli consulate in Atlanta. This was December 2nd. And as far as I can tell, Ethan didn't have a problem with that. He didn't talk about this individual. I believe it was a female. I'm not 100% on that. I believe they used she, her pronouns. Ethan didn't talk about this. But for some reason, Aaron Bushnell's self-immolation, he has a problem with. It's weird that he's picking and choosing. It just shows that he's not as well-versed on the issue as he claims to be or wishes he was, I guess.
They're looking for any reason. And so I feel like if you are actually articulated why you were mad at me, it wouldn't make any sense. So I'm dying. Please write it.
What I saw...
Because you made fun of him burning. Okay, dummy! I joke about all this shit every fucking day. And now all of a sudden you gotta get all bitched out? Like... Give me a break, dude. I wasn't even...
Oh my god, dude. He's literally doing the right-wing fucking I can't say anything anymore. He's literally doing the I can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything anymore. He's literally doing it. The transition is complete. He's literally doing the thing where right-wingers say, "Oh my God, we can't say anything anymore." Dog, people are going to criticize your shitty take. Come on. I refuse to believe that someone like Ethan, who has been on the internet making content for years now, over 10 years, I know of. I found this motherfucker in 2015 when he was way different than he is now, but I guess he hasn't really changed that much from what he used to be. There is no way that Ethan has been online this long and he is so unself-aware that people are going to criticize a shitty take that he has. I mean, he doesn't think it's a shitty take, though. Dog, come on. This is ridiculous. I've been making videos for less than 2 years on a regular basis, and I am self-aware enough to know that a shitty take is going to have people dump on you. That's how it fucking works. Come on,
Insulting him. I said, the joke was that it was distasteful, and I was complimenting his resolve, frankly. The joke was that it was a compliment in a really distasteful way.
Maybe just don't joke about it, though, dog. Like, did you ever think of that? Did you ever think of that? Like, I don't think it would it be appropriate if somebody, made a joke about something that was super traumatic that happened to either Ethan or Hila, even if it wasn't in bad faith, which I don't think Ethan's joke was in good faith. I think it was a very bad faith, very horrible thing to say. I also don't think it was a joke because it wasn't funny.
That's my fucking humor. I do it here every day. And
I mean, it's especially
we make fun of people killing themselves every fucking day here at the H3 podcast. We make fun of people fucking engaging in the most extreme forms of protest every day. Fuck those people. Yeah, fuck them. We make fun of people like that every fucking day. Fuck yeah, dude.
members, which is a little more unfiltered.
Ethan gone wild.
Unfiltered by design. It's just kind of like Ethan is there. And
No, but I would say that joke on the podcast.
Sure.
And I joke about.
But if, especially on the members, you just kind of like shoot the shit.
Yeah,
whatever
absolutely. But it's really annoying that like people they stand by like just waiting for any reason to call me. And by the way, call me a Zionist. Make it about how I support genocide, about all this horrible fucking shit to call me racist. Why? Because I made one stupid, insensitive joke that.
No, Ethan. No, Ethan. It was not just your comments about Aaron Bushnell. Okay? Don't fucking lie. Don't do that shit. It is so much more than the comments you made about Aaron Bushnell that people are calling you a Zionist. And I don't know if I mentioned this when I introduced the video here. I have a clip pulled up here that I don't know if a lot of people know about. They might, maybe not. A clip of Ethan and Hila on a podcast with comedian Bobby Lee. That's Bobby Lee right there. Where they get asked about the Israel and Palestine situation, because that's what the title of the video is. And this clip is very telling. We're only going to watch about a minute of this here in a little bit. But that clip that we're going to play from that podcast is very, 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 very telling. Very, very telling. And, again, it's not just that clip I just showed you guys that we're going to watch and his comments about Aaron Bushnell that have people claiming that Ethan is a Zionist. Also, I mean, again, I mentioned this in my video I made yesterday, but, like, the whole entire Hassan leftovers thing, I mean, like, he canceled the show, essentially, because he was upset that he was getting pushed back online for seemingly having a pro-Israel stance. So it's not just what you said the other day, buddy.
By the way, they didn't call his character into question. It literally was just like he was really good, and my point was that, like, his resolve was crazy, and the thing that really struck me about that video was how he stood there
That was my first reaction.
And I was like, wow, that I didn't even think that anybody could do that. So I mean,
I don't understand how that's what you thought about when you watched if you haven't watched the Aaron Bushnell video, okay, it's hard to watch. I can't show that here on YouTube, obviously, for obvious reasons. If you haven't watched the video, it's very hard to watch, okay? It's a hard video to watch. I also do think it is important that people that feel comfortable, and especially people that are engaged with this in this activism of talking about the Palestinians being under the apartheid Israeli regime and being genocided. I feel like it is important that even if you don't feel comfortable watching the video, you look at it. That is just, I don't fucking, normal fucking people didn't watch that and be like, oh wow, I can't believe he's been standing so long after he set himself on fire. That's so incredible. Wow. No. When I watched the video, and I watched it a few different times, the first time I watched it, I honestly, I didn't even, I was just completely blown away. What I focused on was what he said before he dumped the lighter fluid or whatever it was he dumped on him. I don't know exactly what it was, either gas or lighter fluid. What surprised me was what he said about the U.S. being complicit in a genocide, and then him screaming, free Palestine as he was burning. I don't understand how both of their reactions are, I can't believe he stood there for so long. What the fuck kind of a take is, what the fuck is that? That's if I was having a conversation with somebody about Aaron Bushnell and that's what they said to me, I would either just fucking walk away from them and probably never talk to that person ever again and try to avoid them at all costs, or just straight up be like, dude, you're fucking nuts. Like, you're actually a shitty human being. We haven't even got to the part that I think is terrible, and I already can't. I just can't engage with this level of fucking stupid.
I don't know how to talk about that, but his resolve was incredible. And what I said was, he's really good at burning alive, and I mean that as the most sincere compliment possible.
It's not a compliment. Do you not hear all? Dude, this shit is so fucked up, man. You could slap a fucking Steven Crowder, fucking Daily Wire, The Blaze, fucking. You could slap any right wing fucking media logo on here and play this audio and be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's a right winger saying that. Yeah, that's someone, I know what their political positions are. That's so fucked up. He's so good at burning alive, and I mean that in such a sincere way. Dog, you need to please shut the fuck up. Ethan, for the love of fucking God, shut your fucking mouth.
He really is.
And it's obviously also a really dark, humoristic way to look at it.
So how are you going to take that and call me a racist, a genocidal, a monster? I mean, if you're coming at me with those kinds of takes, you are ensuring peace will never happen.
All right. I'm going to head out. Y'all have a good one. This motherfucker just said that Ethan just said that if you call him a Zionist, you're ensuring that that peace for Palestinians will never be achieved. If you call Ethan a Zionist online, guys, you're fucking you're not pro-Palestine. You're not fucking anti-Palestinians being genocided. You're pro-Palestinian genocide. If you call Ethan a Zionist online, that is the most self-absorbed, insane, nasty, horrible, shitty take I think I've ever heard.
Because you can't even have a fucking... You can't even have any kind of dialogue where everybody isn't walking totally aligned with you. I never said a single bad thing about that man. Other than the compliment, not even the compliment, because it's weird to say, but his resolve is nuts. Okay. His resolve was really remarkable. That's what I said. And that's
Ethan's disconnect from reality is so far, just out there. I don't think we can bring him back. I really don't. I can't. I shouldn't be laughing. I just can't believe he's saying this shit on a live stream. That's crazy to me.
That's what the joke was. If you can't deal with it, then you're a fucking hypocrite because I make these jokes about all different topics,
God,
about all different sensitive things, about all
yeah, dude, attack. You know what? You know what I've realized? You want to know what the best strategy is when you're an online creator? When your actual people that support you, your followers, your subs, your paid members start calling you out for a shitty take you had, fucking tell them that they're fucking dumb. Call out your audience. Turn on your audience. That works out great. That's worked out great for every creator that has ever existed in any media space ever. You turn on your fans, you're going to win every time. Yep, go on the attack on your fans, Ethan. That is the smartest move I've ever seen. Yes, attack your fans that are rightfully calling you out. That's going to turn out really well for you. Really, really good.
different groups of people every fucking show. And then when it lightly brushes on your shoulder, you freak the fuck out and you bitch and you cry and you go and you try to find any reason.
Who's the one who's bitching and crying, though, Ethan? Seriously. Who's bitching and crying? You sound like the bitch and you're literally crying. You tell me.
Reason to, you know what I mean? To get angry. Give me a fucking break. Look in the mirror, loser. You're the problem. You are the problem. You are. I can't even have any.
Yeah, you know the hundreds of or tens of thousands of people that have literally little to no following or a much smaller platform than Ethan. They're the problem, guys. It's not Ethan that has how many fucking subs does he have on this shit? 2.9, almost 3 million subscribers. I'll be nice and go underneath what he has. 2.9 million subscribers. It's not the guy who has a platform of 2.9 million subs on only one channel. This is only one of his channels. I know he doesn't upload on like his other channels anymore. Guys, it's not the guy that has 3 million followers. An extremely large platform that spreads information that's number one, incorrect, and number two, just downright fucking heinous, shitty, and horrible. It's you. You're the fucking problem. So fuck you. A message from Ethan Klein.
Nobody can have any nuanced conversation about this.
What is the nuanced conversation? No, seriously. What is the nuanced conversation? Is he talking about Aaron Bush or is he talking about Israel-Palestine? Because I don't feel like there's any nuance in either of those conversations. What is the nuance? There is obviously nuance in many different things that everyone can talk about. Yes. What's the nuance in this particular context? I need it explained because I really don't see it.
That's the problem. You know what I mean? So extreme.
Yes.
It really pisses me off.
Really?
Because I never said a damn bad thing about that guy. And that's why I says when you need to explain your reason for calling me a racist, calling me a genocidal, a Zionist, which, by the way, Zionist is just another slur for being a Jew. You know how many people now calling fucking every Jew's a Zionist?
No,
like,
man.
Okay. Just call me a Jew and get it fucking over with.
Literally, Michael Rappaport. For those of you that might not be aware, I've covered it here on the channel just not too long ago. Michael Rappaport is a semi-famous actor, completely washed up now, who, after October 7th, just fucking completely lost his shit and went actually full Zionist. He claims he is a Zionist, a proud Zionist, and just went super Islamophobic. And one of the talking points that he routinely spews is that, calling every Jew a Zionist. Well, maybe not Michael Rappaport exactly. Maybe that's not the best example to use, but this is literally Michael Rappaport rhetoric right here. He's saying that every Jew is being attacked. People are attacking all Jews and saying all Jews are this and that. No. I rewound it a little bit just so I can hear it again.
About this. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So extreme. It really pisses me off because I never said a day. Calling me a racist, calling me a genocidal, a Zionist, which, by the way, Zionist is just another slur for being a Jew. You know how many people now calling fucking every Jew's a Zionist? It's like, okay, just call me a Jew and get it fucking over with. Call me the K word. At least I'll know what you mean. It's just the truth. Not everybody, not all the time, but a lot of times, let's not fucking pretend that anti-Semitism isn't a fucking massive inferno of acceptable behavior right now on the left and the right.
It's not. It's not, Ethan. It's not. It's not acceptable on either side, and he's acting like anti-Semitism is just like like mainstream right now somehow. And dog, it's not. Yes, anti-Semitism is a problem. Yes, anti-Semitism does exist. It most certainly does exist. But so does Islamophobia. And again, you know what? I'm just gonna play the fucking clip right now, dude. I'm gonna fucking play the clip right now. We haven't even got to the Frogan shit. This video is way longer than I planned on it being. I'm just gonna play this fucking clip right now to show you guys what Ethan and Hila think of the Palestinian people. Because in this clip, let me move it over so you guys can really see him, so people don't say that I fucking fake this shit, because people literally comment shit like that on my videos. In this clip right here, Hila literally claims that fucking when it comes to, I'm just gonna let the clip play. I'm not even gonna set it up.
Jerusalem 50-50.
All right, we're gonna
I don't know
rewind it
much
here.
about it, but can I just ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Can't you just split up Jerusalem 50-50?
It is already split up.
50-50.
I don't know if it's 50-50, but it's...
Well, for example, the
it
old
is split
city,
up.
which is really the part that everyone's fighting over. Well, I don't want to say that, but everybody's really obsessed with the old city, which is the biblical part of the city. And that is cut up into perfect quarters from after World War II with like the Christians, the Jews, the Muslims, and there's another group that like the Genonites or some weird one that nobody really.
It's perfectly cut up. It's perfectly cut up.
Oh.
They just got hooked up.
So
Perfectly
that's
cut
what.
up.
So it is split up.
Okay.
Like by groups.
East Jerusalem, you don't. That's all Arabic.
There's a lot of places where you see everyone coexisting.
But-
right.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where you see everyone coexisting. Okay.
The problem is the extremes on both sides. The Orthodox Jewish people
And the
cause
extreme
trouble,
yeah.
and the terrorists.
Terrorists, yeah.
Well, you know-
who do all the terror attacks on the other side.
You mean the IDF? Are you talking about the IDF? That was the clip I wanted to play right there. That was it. I mean, you guys heard it. You heard what she just said. She said, there's Jewish people that they can be a little, they can be a little extreme. And then there's the terrorist. The Muslim people, the terrorists. The Palestinians, the terrorists. I mean, that is literally a straight IDF talking point right there. A straight fucking IDF, like literally full on IDF right there. I mean, look, just listen.
The Orthodox Jewish people
And the
cause
extreme
trouble,
yeah.
and the terrorists.
Terrorists, yeah.
Well, you know,
who do all the
Yeah.
terror attacks on the other side.
Yeah. You guys know all the Muslim terrorists, guys, because every Muslim's a terrorist. According, hey, Hila said it. Hila's the one who said it. You hear what she said? It's the Orthodox Jews, and then the terrorists, the Muslims, the Palestinians. They're terrorists. Terrorists.
Nazis and leftists are dabbing the fuck up, saying fuck Zionists.
Yeah, dog. Fuck Zionists. Fuck Zionism. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dog. Fuck yeah. Yeah, fuck Zionism, dog. Does he not understand what Zionism is? Does he not understand what a Zionist is? Like, does he not understand the fucking word? If you're going to talk about it, you need to understand what it means first. I mean, shit.
And, again, it's driving me insane.
This is worse than like a kid who has like a really big presentation at like school and they're just not prepared at all, and they literally go up there and they just try to bullshit their way through it, and they don't know what they're talking about, except this isn't school and this isn't a project, and he is just being the worst type of person in front of an audience of hundreds of thousands of people.
I got to fucking talk about it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there's just not a tidal wave of anti-Semitism gobbling up the entire discourse. It's fucking disgusting, man.
No, dude, fucking
And I'm doing, as an Israeli dual citizen, as someone who's deeply invested in the state of Israel, who's probably more sympathetic to the Israeli perspective than most people would be, I've tried so hard to pull myself to some kind of central ground where we can have a real conversation about this stuff. I'm pulled myself all the way to, outright saying that it's apartheid, that it's genocide, that the Israeli government is committing. And so
it sounded like that was really hard for you, dog. It sounds like you just did it just to do it. I mean, really? Did you guys listen to that? Let's listen to that again.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there's just not a tidal wave of anti-Semitism gobbling up the entire discourse. It's fucking disgusting, man. And I'm doing, as an Israeli dual citizen, as someone who's deeply invested in the state of Israel, who's probably more sympathetic to the Israeli perspective than most people would be. I've tried so hard to pull myself to some kind of central ground where we can have a real conversation about this stuff. I'm pulled myself all the way.
You've pulled yourself all the way. It's really that hard for Ethan to admit that it's a genocide. Like, even now, it's like he has a problem saying it out loud. It's like it's like he feels dirty saying it out loud in front of a camera, in front of an audience. I forced myself to say it was a genocide. I mean, I really, really pushed myself to say that the Palestinians are being genocided when they are. I mean, I tried so hard.
To, outright saying that it's apartheid, that it's genocide, that the Israeli government is committing. And so, but you still want to call me a racist and a genocide and a Zionist. Why would you call me a Zionist if it wasn't just, oh, you're a fucking Jew? When I have said all the things that you want to hear from me, I want to meet you right in the fucking middle, and you still spit in my face. So give me a fucking break. Who's the problem? Scumbag. Scumbag. And you know what? I don't want to call out this because I'm going to say this because it pissed me the fuck off. And being an anti-Semite openly and proudly is now likes on Twitter. Frogan, she tweeted out, she goes, I have a problem with my Zionist therapist. Just call him a fucking Jew. I'm sorry, but you can't talk like that about any other fucking minority. I had a problem with my Zionist therapist. What'd you taught your Zionist therapist? Did you get those level of details from them? You had an in-depth conversation about the politics of Zionism with your therapist? No, I know what you mean. You mean fucking Jew.
So we're going to look at the Frogan tweet here, and then I'm going to tell a little bit of a story, which is not something I usually do on this channel. Here's Frogan responding to that clip right there, saying, when I say my therapist was a Zionist, when I went to her back in 2019, I mean, she literally brought up that I was Lebanese unprompted and confronted me on it, saying she was Israeli. She asked if I had a problem with that, if I felt like Israel had the right to exist, started asking more and more if I was frustrated with Islam and have considered taking off my hijab. I asked her if she was all right with me being Lebanese, and she got really aggressive, accusing me of flipping it on her and refused to answer. So when I say Zionist, I don't mean she was Jewish. I mean she was a racist Israeli who could not help herself but to confront me about my ethnicity in what was supposed to be a therapy session. And then she she responds and quote tweets her original tweet here that's from October 24th, 2019. Says, here's me talking about it the day it happened briefly 4.5 years ago. I just went to therapy for the first time, and after talking about my dad fleeing the Israel-Lebanon war, she was like, I'm Israeli, do you have any issues with me being your therapist? Bruh, I was so taken aback. And really quick, this isn't a complete anecdote, so, take it as you will, but this was a couple of years ago. Me and my fiance, we're not so financially well off as, some other people might be. And my fiance needed to see a therapist, and her parents helped us out with some of those therapy bills because therapists are expensive. It's not cheap, which is sucky. But we went to this therapist, and she is a real licensed therapist. I'm not going to say her name here on in this video, but the first time that I was there at this particular therapy session, it was the first one my fiance wanted me to go. In the very first therapy session that we had with this individual, she fucking brought up how, and this was 2021, she brought up how Joe Biden had ruined the country and asked me and my fiance if we watched Fox News. She was a insane conservative. I mean insane. She literally was pro-Trump. And she stated that in the first fucking therapy session. And my fiance wasn't super involved in politics at the time, so I don't think it resonated with her as much as it did with me. This tweet I resonate with this tweet so fucking much. To say I was taken aback was like an understatement. I could not believe. I was going to just straight up say something, but it wasn't my place to really say something because it wasn't my therapist. It was insane. It was fucking insanity. It was insanity. I cannot believe how fucking blatant this individual was with her conservative bias. Literally, and even asking us if we were conservatives and we supported fucking Trump and said Joe Biden was shit. So I absolutely fucking, Ethan saying this shit about Frogan, saying that she's an anti-Semite, is one of the most ridiculously fucking stupid things that I've ever seen. I don't understand how Ethan can claim that. Ethan used to follow Frogan on Twitter, I'm pretty sure, and then Ethan unfollowed her. I think this was a couple of months ago. I don't remember when it was. I saw like a Frogan or an Ethan tweet or Hassan talk about it. I saw someone talk about it. But you have to just like not know anything about Frogan and her positions and her stances and her takes and how she feels on certain things to call her an anti-Semite. She is so far from an anti-Semite, and I'm not gonna play the rest of this segment here because he doesn't really say anything else other than what he's already said. So that is where I'm going to leave this video. This video was a lot longer than I planned on it being. I know I paused it a lot. I do apologize. I try to let the video play my best. I'm not always very good at that. That being said, that's going to be it for this video. Guys, please, I love reading all of your comments. I love, seeing the discussion down in the comments. So go down there, leave a comment, drop a comment about my coverage, drop a comment about what you thought, especially about what you thought about what Ethan and Elo were saying in these clips. The clip from a couple years ago on Bobby Lee's podcast, and then also what they said yesterday on their own podcast. Hit the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you're not already, hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload.